Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources.
Join Helping Seniors Executive Director Terri Mermis and Helping Seniors Founder and Chairman Joe Steckler for this discussion on helping seniors and the road forward.
Welcome to this edition of Helping Seniors. It's my pleasure today to interview. Is that a good word, Terri?
Interview's good.
Interview is a good word. But Terri Mermis is my guest, and Terri is our new Executive Director for Helping Seniors. In fact, I guess you're really the first full-time Executive Director for the program.
That's pretty exciting.
I hope it is, and I hope you feel the same way 5 or 10 years from now after you go through all of what you're going to have to go through us over the next few years to get this thing put in place. But Terri, just a little bit about your, just a quick review of your background so that our viewers will have a better understanding of why you're in this position now and what you bring to it.
Well, I arrived in Brevard County in 1989. So I've been here for quite a while, and I've watched a lot of changes. I've watched the political environment. I worked for Florida Institute of Technology for almost 20 years, and I've also been running my own company for 12 years, and I worked in a not-for-profit child abuse prevention center for 8 years, so I'm very familiar with not-for-profit. So this is a really good place for me to be right now.
And this is your first time really working with seniors.
Well, working in a capacity with seniors in a center, but not with working with seniors, because I've worked with my own parents who were ailing and a caregiver for them for 3 years.
Right. So you have a good understanding from a I want to say a layperson.
Absolutely.
So you understand what's needed and what the circumstances can be, the difficulty of trying it, and understanding the programs that are available, how they apply.
Yes.
And this is something that a good executive director has to bring to a program like Helping Seniors. And what really is the mission of Helping Seniors? What does Helping Seniors really do?
Well, Helping Seniors is critical because it's the only thing I've ever seen in Brevard County dedicated to seniors with television, radio, publications. Your outreach and your ability to share information relevant to seniors is unparalleled. I just don't see that anyplace else here.
Well, that's been the hardest thing, I think, for us to make the fundraising apparatus aware of. And people can understand paying for a meal or paying for a service that provides food to somebody or provides daycare to somebody or provides in-home care or something like that. But the hardest thing to convince the fundraising community is that there is an equal need for information and education. If people don't understand what's available, if they don't know why they need this type of thing, you just don't go out and say, well, I need all these things. You need to know what's available.
Yes. And there is a clear problem with our county being so huge, all the way from Mico to Mims to Titusville. It's hard to get communication out where services and things are. So with your multiple ways to do that, more people are reading Hometown News or Senior Scene, or they're finding you on TV, and they're finding ways that you just couldn't reach anyone here that way.
But now you're going to be the executive director, and it's going to be Terri Mermis' job to write articles and you'll be sitting here in this chair doing these interviews of
Yes.
sponsors in the months to come. What are some of your concerns for making our fundraising community aware of the fact that seniors and I don't want to pit children against seniors or seniors against children, but I think that we need to do a better job somehow of convincing the community at large that there is an equal need for people to be concerned about end-of-life issues as they are about the beginning of life issues.
Yes. And I think having a child welfare background, I found it interesting that the 4 things that seniors need are going to be affordable housing, because that's very important. It's difficult. They're on fixed incomes. They definitely need good health, food, and nutrition. They need good medical care, and we don't have a good transportation system. And amazingly, those are the 4 exact things that are required of children. Those are the 4 needs. So if we're focusing on children 0 to 5, you've left an entire population out. If you focus on seniors and go backwards, you've covered everyone. And they just have to do this paradigm shift to understand, include seniors, include the needs, because they're identical to the children's. And I don't think people quite look at it sometimes that way.
You know, recently the Brevard County, we always have an issue with money. We never, at the national and at local levels, we never seem to have enough tax dollars to do all that needs to be done. And it seems those that get there first with the most ammunition to sell their case are the ones that are going to get the funding. As executive director, how do you see yourself trying to reverse this recent act of the county commissioners to defund all nonprofits, not just helping seniors, but all nonprofits are going to be defunded over the next 4 years?
Yes.
And I don't want that. I want our viewers, I want your viewer to understand when I say the commissioners voted to defund, or just to defund or take away the county portion of it. The county portion of what they give to seniors is so pitiable that it's almost not worth fighting for. It takes more time than it's actually worth. But to me, the danger of counties not helping fund senior programs shows me a lack of concern on the part of the elected officials to understand the needs of their constituents.
I absolutely see that too. And that's why I think to focus and let them understand the needs that they're fighting for children are the same for seniors. That we are a combined group of a frail population, and they need to focus on that because it's what the whole county needs. And I don't think they have a proper aging plan to understand what their directive is.
What do you mean when you say you don't think they have a proper aging plan? What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that there should be a comprehensive analysis done of what the needs are for the community, and they're going to see that we are an aging community, that seniors, I mean, we're the boomers, so it's aging, it's growing every day, and I don't believe that it's as comprehensive as it can be of what the future and the current needs are for seniors. They're focusing very strongly on the children's needs, but I don't see it as equal focus on seniors.
You know, I think senior stomachs get hungry just as children's stomachs get hungry.
Proper nutrition, that's number 1 for children.
Yep.
So
what do you think are some of the challenges that Terri Mermis is going to have as executive director?
Probably this paradigm shift and helping them understand that these needs are probably greater than what they're focusing on. And I'm going to work on doing that and bringing awareness to the needs of seniors.
Do you like being in the public eye? Do you like doing that? Do you like fighting for causes?
Yes, I do like that. And I think it's important because if there is no one that's going to stand up, it won't change.
You have to be willing to do that in order to succeed in this job, Terri.
Absolutely.
You've got to have a passion for what you do. And I've seen too many nonprofits here in Brevard County that have directors that, to me, they're there. That's it. They're not going to go out and fight for their people. They're not going to go out and fight for somebody. One of the things one of the people I think in this county is the greatest champion for her cause is Betsy Farmer with
Oh,
the,
hasn't she done a wonderful job?
yes.
Yes.
And, you know, she started the Space Coast Early Intervention Program, and it's just, you know, certain elements didn't like what she did, so she left and she started, but she showed them all what it means, but she got a $15 million grant
Yes.
from the federal government, and now she's building.
And it's fabulous. We had
Yeah.
nothing like that in this county.
We do not. And Brevard County is one of the few counties in Florida, and I could probably say a lot of states, that does not have a nursing home for seniors.
Yes.
What Brevard County has been able to get away from doing, I think it's almost criminal. That's a word I can actually use. You know, they can't get you for using the word, but I'm not accusing them of being a criminal. I'm just saying it's a criminal action when you deny people the right to help sort of fend for themselves. And I think that's
Yes.
one of the things that you mentioned. Well, talk to our viewers a little bit about what Helping Seniors does in a way of communicating. How do we communicate this information and education element to the public? How do we do that?
You are a strong advocate, and it's going to be really big shoes for me to fill, but I plan on doing that. And I want to continue the publications. I want to be able to continue our outreach efforts, our information line that helps connect seniors to profitable things that help them. And we've got to focus on our seniors and their needs and get the county and everyone to understand how important that is, that our seniors matter. They are frail population. I mean, what are we going to do if we don't take care of our seniors? A lot of them chose not to have children. They don't have people that can take care of them. They're alone in their homes. They need help. Their transportation here is not good. They can't get to the medicines. If you don't fund a food program, they don't have funding for food. They can't get that. It's very critical that we continue our efforts for outreach through your publications and through writings, and that I continue what you do.
Yeah. Well, I think back over the years, and I think like the sheriff with the WEAD program and with the sheriff's program to locate people that have dementia if they get lost, get away from their house. And but you know, there's so much more to the program and the needs than just going out and finding somebody that's lost. How do we put things in place ahead of time so that people don't get lost, that people are able to do the things that they should be doing? And I think that's when a county steps up to the plate and says, I want to be part of this program, that
Yes.
signals to potential funders that, you know, when I started the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, the first center, I went to the county commissioners and made an agreement with them. They gave us the land, county land, to build the centers on, with a stipulation that as long as those centers were used for the purpose the land was given, the buildings we built on would belong to the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation. But in the event that we tried to sell those buildings for another use, then the property reverts.
Ooh.
And a lot of people don't know that. The property reverts to the county ownership. So those centers have to be used to serve an elder population. And I think that if somehow we make the connection with the county commissioners as we get new commissioners on board each time, of the importance of them listening to the programs that help their constituents. And you brought it up earlier, Brevard County is one of the top 10 oldest counties in the United States of America. And we're talking 3,067 counties in the United States.
That's a lot.
And we're in the top 10 in terms of the number of people over the age of 65. And no matter how much we try to publicize programs, we will get people calling that office, and you're finding this out. People will call that office and say, I don't understand this, or I've never heard of that. And we have something like 75,000 veterans here in Brevard County. And we find there are numerous veterans that don't know about the Veterans Aid and Attendance Program.
Yeah,
And
they just don't have their information.
what are some of the things that you're seeing as you take over the reins of running the organization? What are some of the things that you are seeing that need to be addressed, and what are some of the goals that you envision for the foundation, or for helping seniors under your leadership?
Well, I'm extremely excited about the new physical location that we'll be moving into
Why is that?
because I think it gives us a base of operations. It gives
Well,
us
where
a
is it?
foundation.
Those people are in Washington State. They don't know where your office is now. Where is your office?
We're located in the new Unity Church building off of Highway 1 and Lake Washington. It's very central, very easy to find. And we like it there because it's large enough that we can do many events. We can help people to join us and to do things together. We can do workshops. We can do awareness things that have never been done in this county.
Well, one of the things that our information specialist, Kay Kaiser, had started was a computer training program, and when we were in our first office. And currently we're not able to do that, but now by moving into a facility that has the space, we'll go back to teaching some basic computer skills. We hope that since I'm the chairman of the board, I can say some of these things.
You sure
And
can.
you're the executive director. But we hope to be able to help the community understand that this organization wants to be an advocate for senior needs.
Absolutely.
And good advocacy. I was just talking to an attorney, and I said, hey, we will have a meeting room over there that's capable of handling 150, 160 people. And, you could present a monthly seminar on
Fabulous.
like we did a show recently on durable power of attorney. And there's so many people don't understand. They think that if they go to an attorney, they're going to get the best advice available. That's not always true.
Not especially in the senior realm,
Why?
because they have different needs, different things.
Right. So what might be good for a 50-year-old may work to the disadvantage of the 85-year-old.
Absolutely.
And if you go to the right kind of an attorney, you go to the right kind of doctor, you go to the right organization, you're going to get the best kind of advice. And one of the biggest things that I think that you're going to find, as I have found, seniors, one of the hardest things for we seniors to do is to recognize that we may not need the living space that we are currently trying to maintain as we get older. That downsizing is something that could be done, it can be done, and if it's done the right way, it can be a positive result. And those are some of the things that some of our sponsors bring to the table. They try to help make people understand. What are some of the other things that you're finding now as you're just learning the ropes? What has Terri found that she thinks is something that's really good for seniors? Can you?
Well, I see that there are a lot of them that are alone. It's much harder now to do simple things. Changing light bulbs in entranceways that are 50 feet high, or just getting basic home repairs. Those types of things are difficult, or getting a ramp built so that they can stay in their homes. There's some things I think that can be done, and it's not really comprehensive where you can find those experts. And I think that in Senior Scene magazine, the new directory that you're creating is going to be very helpful.
You've mentioned that our viewers don't know a blessed thing about this directory. What are you talking about?
Well, starting in August, there's a brand new senior directory. It's a pull-out version, and it's going to list senior-friendly businesses. It's our current sponsors and providers that support us that we trust, And it's people in the community that care about the needs of seniors.
Well, like people like, you could call a plumbing outfit and they could come out and whack you $400 or $500 for something that maybe worth $100.
Exactly.
So, what we're going to do is do our very best to vet these people and make sure that they're going to be listed in our organization directory for the right reason. Of course, they all have to make money. You're not in business unless you make money. But I think you need to treat the senior fairly, and you need to recognize that many of them are on a fixed income. And if you're living on a fixed income, sometimes it's very difficult to get some of the things done. And we think we've had a couple of callers to their organization this week that had the very same problem. They needed something done, but they lived on fixed income and they couldn't find it. No. They couldn't do it. But often we can point them to the right source that will get this thing done at the cost they can afford. And there are many ways to develop funding for seniors that the seniors simply are not aware of. There are grants, there are programs, there are organizations. Mm-hmm. The Catholic Charities has one called St. Vincent de Paul, which will do it. But even the local municipalities like the cities, Melbourne and Rockledge, they have programs that they can help defray the cost of a delinquent payment for electricity or for a water bill, because they recognize that if they turn the person's water off or cut the electricity off, they are just creating a potential for increased cost resulting from bad food or not having the right kind of nourishment.
And many of them, I believe, have exemptions because if they have oxygen or other things, they cannot turn them off. But that doesn't mean the bill doesn't keep going up. And that becomes a problem for them because they're not getting turned off, but it's also going to be a large bill that has to be attended to.
Yep.
So
the hardest sell that I have found in my work with seniors has been to convince them to purchase a program called Life Alert, to wear the button around their neck.
That's a wonderful program.
That's been the hardest thing that I have experienced. Most people will say, I don't need that. I can think of a situation where a woman, she flew a flag outside her house, and her neighbors knew if the flag was pointed one way, she was okay. But one day, something happened where she didn't get out to change it. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, she had fallen, and she was in her bathtub for over 24 hours before the cross-street neighbor said that flag hasn't been moved. So even though it's in the right position, it hasn't been moved. Wrong. Yeah. So they went in and they found a lady and they got help for her. But you don't have that many observant neighbors these days, so people change so much. So, but there are just so many programs. What are some of the things that you're what are you excited about that you
I'm excited about bringing awareness to a lot of these programs that people just aren't aware of. I'm excited about creating new programs and things that this community needs, because there are some programs that there's established, but they're not reaching out the way they could, or they're only on Palm Bay, or they're only in Titusville, or they're not comprehensive programs. And I think we can reach people and we can help them to understand where in their communities these helpful things are. Because it won't help you if you hear about something in Titusville if you live in Palm Bay and you can't get to it.
Yeah, that's been one of the hardest nuts to crack. And since Brevard County is something like 70 miles long, it's like two countries exist in Brevard County when you talk about South and North Brevard.
Or over the causeways.
Yeah.
That's another country.
Yeah, and we have some wonderful programs here, but if they're not made, people are not made aware of them, then that's wrong. And we have Older American Act money that serves so many people, But I think one of the things that Helping Seniors is going to have to do is help create a better awareness of the importance of those recipients of the Elder American Act money to share with the public at large what those dollars are intended to be used for. And it's sort of a close-held secret now, and it could be, more could be done.
Yes, and more is needed to be done.
So what, you've been on board now, what, 5 weeks?
Yes.
5 weeks. What do you think is probably, let's just say if you could pick one thing you would like to see happen quicker than something else, what would that one thing be? I'll give you 10 seconds to think of it.
Well, one thing, wow, there's so many. I worry about the transportation here. I think that would be critical if people really could get to appointments, if they could get what they need or help. That would be very important.
Yeah, I think people have to realize that almost invariably, if you want to get responsive transportation, you're going to have to pay for it. And unless you can plan well enough ahead, but that's very hard to do. So, but all they can do is if they call what number?
Our number.
What's that?
321-473-7770.
You've learned it.
I've learned it.
So
yes.
you know the number. It's important. And when
Yes,
they call
it is.
that, who are they going to get?
They're going to get Kay. And
Yep.
Kay is our information specialist.
And what will she tell them to do?
She has a list that she has created over 4 years. She's going to give them her best connection to whatever they might need. And she has an unending list of people and places and things that she can connect them to.
Well said. Thank you, Terry. We're out of time, and thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.